Welcome, baseball family, to our Thursday night party, also known as our Thursday Night Live with Baseball Together podcast. I am Brad, and as always, I'm with our guy Brig. How are you this evening, Brig?
I'm great. Thanks for asking, Brad. How are you?
I'm doing well. We're supposed to have a storm rolling in tonight, and I'm very excited because it's kept the temperatures low-ish. So it's been nice. I'm really enjoying it. I hope they actually do roll in rather than burn off. But we'll see what happens because they keep pushing them back every day. But anyway, all right, we have some stuff to get into. It was interesting because as far as like big news goes, there hasn't been a whole lot this week. We did cover a lot of it on Monday. We kind of did our monthly news dump, but we didn't get to all of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that stuff. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
How about that?
How about that and those apples? Okay. First things we have here that we, like I said, we didn't talk about this on this week's show, but I'm glad we didn't because there's been more to it since then. Chris Woodward, former manager of the Rangers, was fired over the weekend. Actually, or was it? No, sorry, it was Monday. It was Monday.
Yeah.
They fired him and I thought it was crazy because the Rangers beat the Mariners 2 out of 3 over the weekend, and then they're like, not good enough. Got to sweep playoff team. Get out of here. Yeah. So I thought this was interesting. Rangers president of baseball operations, John Daniel, he said at the time, we have had extensive discussions over the last several weeks, and while the team's current performance is certainly a big part of this discussion, we are always looking at the future. As the Rangers continue to develop a winning culture and put the pieces together to compete for the postseason year in and year out, we felt the change in leadership was necessary at this time. 2 days later, he was fired.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering, maybe, just maybe, and I think this is a thought I've actually had most of the season. First off, I don't think Chris Woodward is the problem. Second, I don't know that John Daniels is necessarily the problem. I think the guy who's still there is the problem. GM Chris Young.
Chris Young, yeah.
Like, he's the guy who's putting the roster together. Yes, you've got big bats in Corey Seager, Marcus Semien. Jonah Heim has turned out to be a pretty good catcher so far. He's a pretty good player. They've got Adolis Garcia, who's going to be a star. That dude's outstanding. Yeah. But the problem is, you don't have any pitching.
Right?
Like, and that's the same problem they have in Anaheim. No pitching at all. Besides Ohtani. So maybe the GM needs to take a look in the mirror, I feel like, and kind of figure out what the problem is. I mean,
there are problems.
Yeah. And I always think it's funny when they fire everybody around the problem, right?
Yeah, but always.
But so, Brig, that's the fourth manager this season who's been fired. We got Joe Madden, Joe Girardi, was it Charlie Montoya? Is that what his name was up in Toronto?
Yeah, Charlie Montoya.
And then we've got Chris Woodward.
Right.
4. Who do you think is the next manager on the way out? Do you have anybody in mind who you've been anticipating this season?
Well, if Aaron Boone doesn't pull a rabbit out of his hat, then it's very possible he'll just eat the remainder of his contract and let him out.
They could. Do you think it's World Series or bust for Boone this year? Like World Series title?
I don't know about victory, but appearance, it's absolutely World Series appearance or bust. Yeah.
I could see that just with the way things were at the beginning of the season and up till the All-Star break and since then.
It's mind-boggling, Brad.
It is. It's exactly what it is. And I saw actually a graphic. I thought I saved it. I didn't. But I did see that the Yankees have the third worst record in baseball since July 8th.
Yep.
Up there with the Tigers and the Nats.
Joey Gallo has more home runs now than the Yankees have had like wins in the last 10 days or something like that.
Yeah, since the deadline, since August 2nd. That's crazy.
I'm so angry.
That's absolutely insane.
I'm so angry.
You should be. You should be. But you know what I'm not angry about? What you shouldn't be angry about, Brig?
What?
Is Patreon.
I'm not angry about Patreon.
Our prices are inflation-proof. In fact, we're cheaper than one of your cups of bougie coffee, Brig. For $5 a month, you can get in and be one of our rooters and watch the bullpen cut and get a free T-shirt for being a rooter as well. Or you can choose one of the other tiers and get
I'm putting this up. Look at it. I made this.
Now on Patreon and cheaper than one of Brig's bougie coffees.
It's just easy. It's just so good. And my bougie coffee looks like that. If you don't know, jump on TikTok and go see. I introduced the character that is my bougie coffee on TikTok. Right. So if you want to know what I order, it's the most millennial order ever, but it's what I like.
It actually sounds delicious coming from a non-coffee drinker.
You got to get there. You got to have that in your life. It's so important.
All right, Brig, let's talk about Walker Buehler for a minute. I said at the beginning of the season, he's one of my favorite players, and he is. I love watching Walker Buehler pitch. I feel like he's amazing and fun to watch. But I haven't gotten to watch him at all this year because he's been injured. And
That's not true. That's not true. He's on commercials.
Okay. The Dairy Queen curse. We'll get there another day, I think, because I think that's a thing.
It is now.
Yeah. But anyways, so Walker Buehler is out the rest of the season. Actually, no, that was Cody Bellinger on the Dairy Queen commercial. Anyway,
it's not that.
Back to Walker Buehler. So he's out for the rest of the season after having elbow surgery.
Yeah.
So a little while ago, he had to have bone spurs removed from his elbow. Mm-hmm. Now he's having surgery on the elbow. This is not Tommy John. Usually we hear elbow surgery and you just think Tommy John, he's out for a year.
Nope.
But so the Dodgers are hoping that he doesn't have to have Tommy John, but they're going to know for sure after this surgery, which I think is interesting because typically, you look at an MRI or a CT scan or whatever it is that you do.
An MRI.
And
it'd be an MRI.
Yeah, it would be an MRI. You're right. And make a diagnosis. But I wonder if they can't get a good enough look at it with an MRI that they're like, we actually got to get in there. We know we need to fix something.
Maybe.
On a pitcher's elbow, you don't want to have exploratory surgery, though.
Exactly. So they know something's wrong. But that's why I'm saying if it were me and you were going to go in there anyway, I would, having had a number of surgeries, I would just tell you hey, while you're there, get the other guy in the door or the other surgeon or whatever and have them on standby in case you identify that this is a need. Just do it all at once.
It's a great idea. We do that. We did that with our daughter with a couple things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've told them that with my surgeries. I'm like, all right, look. It's the same as having the vascular surgeon on hand in case I throw a clot. All right, just have the third guy there.
There you go. So this is something that has worried me though, with Buehler is that this is a really complicated thing with his elbow. It's not obviously as cut and dry as we said as having Tommy John. There's something else going on there. It seems like they don't know exactly what it is. But I wonder if it could be a lingering problem. And Walker Buehler is a big slider guy.
Yeah.
So
bringing you to the drum you love to beat.
Yes, that I am of the belief that guys like Nolan Ryan, people are always talking about how Nolan Ryan never had a problem with his elbow until the very last day, right?
Yep.
But he threw games where he threw 100, 150, 200 pitches, whatever.
Totally.
Nolan Ryan was throwing gas. He was throwing a fastball and a 12-6 curveball.
That's it, though.
And what do they tell you as a kid, as a pitcher? They say, don't throw sliders. It's hard on your elbow. It's the exact same thing Nolan Ryan said. He said, I don't want to throw a slider because it's hard on your elbow.
Yeah.
Maybe the problem is not these guys throwing 100 miles an hour. Maybe it's these guys throwing 90-mile-an-hour sliders.
Yeah.
Which is a great pitch. Great pitch.
It's a great pitch, but
it's problematic.
Is it worth the longevity issues?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe you implement it after you get the bag of money, right? Maybe you don't throw a slider until somebody pays you for 6 or 7, 5-year
But some guys,
deal.
like Matt Brash, he's going to get paid because of his slider.
That's true.
So like there's that, but there's also this. I wonder if eventually the slider is going to become a pitch that we don't see anymore because it is a problem. I don't know, but I also don't know if I could see that happening just because it's so effective.
But do you think they'll put an age limit? Like, all right, we're not allowing sliders until you're in college.
That's the way it should be.
Right?
Any middle school, like any middle school coach or a lot of high school coaches who allow a guy to throw a slider, they're doing that player a major disservice.
For sure. That's right. So it's interesting. I think that we could see something implemented like that. That's, beneficial. It could be really beneficial anyway.
It could be. Yeah, for sure. So this is the kind of stuff we talk about on the Big Show every week. Don't forget to subscribe to the Big Show, the Baseball Teaser podcast, on all of your podcast platforms and YouTube so you don't miss any episodes when they come out each week. Like I said, this last week we did an August news dump, so we just went through a ton of current events and news, and I thought it was a good time. It was fun.
It was fun.
I actually really liked those episodes a lot.
Yeah, me too. Well, we were kind of all over the place. It makes it even more fun.
It did bounce. You're right. Okay, now speaking of bouncing, let's go down to the Dominican Republic, to the Dominican Summer League. These summer leagues are so much fun to me because it's like the Wild West of baseball, because there are so many guys on these teams and it's such raw talent that it can be kind of a mess. Well, there was a mess. I think it was yesterday. There was not a single hit allowed in this game.
Right.
Between the DSL Cubs Red and the DSL Pitt Black. You can kind of figure out whose teams those are. They're the Cubs and
of course.
and the Pirates. Affiliates. So the Cubs Red won this game 2-0. It was a 7-inning game. And Pitt Black had 3 errors, which is why the winning team did not record any hits.
Yeah.
So funny. This is the 7th no-hitter in the Dominican Summer League this year. This game being the 6th and the 7th.
Oh, seriously?
So this is the thing. This is the thing about that is that I've talked to scouts and former players about like the Summer League and the rookie and the former rookie level, right? And specifically a scout for the A's, like I can't remember his name off the top of my head. We asked him like, because he made it to the bigs. He was a cooler guy for the A's.
Cool.
And we were like, so what's the hardest level to hit? And he goes, this one right here. He's like, this is the hardest level to hit out of all of them. He's like, you get to the big leagues, yeah, guys are throwing nasty stuff, but it's the defense that keeps you off bases.
Yeah.
He's like, because it feels like there's 20 guys out there. There is no ground to hit. He's like, but down here, these guys are throwing 100 and you have no idea where it's going to go.
Right. Yeah, that's wild. That would be terrifying.
It would be absolutely terrifying. And I feel like that's why they throw so many no-hitters in these summer leagues, the Arizona Summer League and the Dominican Summer League, because you don't know where it's going. You're not going to be swinging it. Everybody is effectively wild.
Right. It might come at your face, same pitch, blowing away. You don't know.
Like you want to take us in and lead us off with our games of the week. Let's start with Friday on Apple TV Plus.
I would love to. Friday, Apple TV Plus has the Blue Jays facing off against my New York Yankees, the Royal Slumpers right now. Stop it. Anyway, the Blue Jays are 62-54, tied for number 2 in the wild card. The Yankees 73-45, somehow retaining first place in the AL East. They're still somehow 10 games up. They're 10 games up on the Blue Jays and the Rays as of right this minute. The Blue Jays and the Rays are tied for second place in the AL East. This could take a chunk out of Aaron Boone and his sails. So we'll see what happens. The Jays did demote Kikuchi to the bullpen, so the Yankees aren't going to see him on the mound as a starter, which is really good news.
For the Blue Jays.
For the Blue Jays, right. I was hoping they'd keep him in and we could pick him off. Yeah. Hey, you take it back.
At least 1 out of 3. I apologize.
Jeez.
Because I would love 10, the Yankees are out of reach. I would actually love for the Yankees to sweep the Blue Jays this weekend.
Yeah. That helps you for sure.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
The Mariners are a wild card team, so what the Yankees do makes no difference as long as they don't fall into the wild card. Like, that's fine. I want the Yankees to stay in first in the AL East, and then the Blue Jays to fall, just to create more space for the Mariners.
Yep. So the last 10, Jays 3-7, Yankees 3-7 in their last 10. Brad, you want to tell us about the Rangers game, the alternate option?
Yes. Well, so it's the second game of the night. This game starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Rangers are 52-65. They're essentially out of the race. They're not going to catch anybody. Then you've got the Twins, 61-55. They are second in the AL Central. They're only 1 game back of the Cleveland baseball team. They're fourth in the AL wild card. But they're only a game back. There's like 2.5 games that separate like 6 teams. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's legit. And one of them's Baltimore. We remain
in the alternate reality where the Yankees are no good and the Mariners and Orioles are outstanding.
I was going to say that. I was like, somebody get that particle accelerator fired up and see what other chaos can happen. We stand a chance that things get reset, which I'm here for. I'm all about that. But I'm also all about seeing what other kind of madness takes place because of this Swiss experiment that has caused everything to go awry.
The Mariners are agents of chaos, Brig. It's chaos ball in Seattle. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're imposing chaos on the rest of the league, and it's working. But so the Rangers, I feel like, are playing on that we fired the manager high. Where you come out, like most teams will come out after they fire a manager and they'll win a few games in a row. The Angels are the exception. They just kept losing, and they continue to lose. But everybody else seems to have done it. The Blue Jays have done it. And the Phillies definitely did it.
Yeah, they did it. Yeah.
They continue to ride that high. The Twins need to take advantage of a series against a bad team like the Rangers, though, to catch up to Cleveland and try to take that top spot. And I say catch up, I mean like either hold with them or take over, because I think it's going to be back and forth the rest of the way. Those teams are pretty even. In their last 10, the Rangers are 4-6. The Twins are 5-5. That's how they fell into second place, if you're wondering. Tell us about the first game on FS1 on Saturday, Break.
So many games on Saturday, Brad. The first one is the Brew Crew facing off in Chicago. They're going to Wrigley, which is always a fun experiment to see how that's going to play out because of the rivalry and Denise's ire for the boys in light blue now. I don't know why I was going to say that. Anyway, the Brewers are 62-54, second in the NL Central. They are number 2 in the National League wild card race, which is great. The Cubs essentially are out 49 and what? Oh, 4th in the wild card race. They're back.
They're 2 games back in the wild card.
I apologize. That's correct. The Cubs are essentially out of it. 49-67 is well below 500. This game is on FS1, 2 p.m. The Brew Crew is struggling a little bit. This could be a great opportunity to balance things out, kind of even the keel. Out of their last 10, the Brewers are 4-6, and the Cubs are 5-5. So hopefully for the Brewers, this is a good opportunity.
Yeah, I would think so. But
hopefully Wilson Contreras doesn't get picked on by the fans again.
Well, there's that. Well, he's going to be at home, so I don't think he will.
Right. That's a good point.
I do think, though, that this is one of those series where it doesn't matter how either of these teams are playing going into the series. You throw out the records for these series because of the way these teams play each other. This is a legitimate rivalry, and it's fun.
It is.
So check your local listings for the Fox games. There are 3 games that start at 7 p.m. Eastern. It depends on your geographic location and all that stuff. First, we have the Mariners at the A's. I will be watching this game no matter what.
Yep.
Because I love watching the Mariners beat up on the A's. The Mariners are 65-54, first in the American League wild card with a 1.5 cushion, and the A's are 43-75, well below 500, and essentially out of everything. They have the second worst record in baseball right now, only to the Nats. The Mariners have owned the A's this year and last, a 22-7 record between 2021 and 2022.
Oh.
I do feel like there's a little bit of law of averages, though. Like, I'm not expecting the Mariners to sweep this series.
Yeah.
They're probably going to lose
Which
one
is
of those
too bad.
It is too bad because I would love for him to go on another one of those long winning streaks. And then the last 10, the Mariners are 7-3. The A's are 2-8. So it could happen. Like I said, law of averages, things happen. Let's talk about the Mets and the Phillies. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the Mets. Can I talk about the Mets?
Go ahead. Tell us about the Mets.
I love talking about the Mets because I have been championing them the entire season. This is a great series for them against the Phillies. They will be in Philadelphia. The Mets are 73-45. It's a terrific first place record for the NL East. They are up by 4.5 games. The Phillies are number 2 in the wild card race. They're only a game and a half up from the next closest team. Their record is 65-52. Again, this is an NL East thing. So either win or loss for either team is going to be a big deal. The Mets, they can put more ground between them and the Braves by winning this series. I don't know if that's going to happen because it's been so tooth and nail lately, which is really exciting. And the Phillies, basically, if they can just hold on and survive, they're going to be good for the remainder of the season. They just need to hold tight. If they can almost stay at 500, they'll be okay. So out of the last 10, the Mets are 7-3. Phillies are 6-4. It's going to be a great series, and that's going to be a good game.
I think if the Phillies maintain this pace, play 600 baseball the rest of the way, they'll be fine. They'll make the playoffs.
600
for
sure.
Another surprisingly long playoff drought, by the way. I think it's been like 8 years.
Yeah.
For the Phillies since they've made the playoffs. So that would be a big deal. Let's head out west. Actually, sorry, we're going to stay on the East Coast, but a Western team is coming to the Braves. Got the Astros at the Braves. This is going to be a great series. I'm excited for this one. The Astros are 76-43, first in the American League West, 11 games up on my Seattle Mariners. Then the Braves are 72-47, first in the National League wild card with a 6.5 game cushion. They seem like they're fine, set, and ready to go. They're second in the NL East, just 4.5 games back of the Mets. Now, this is the reason this is a big series to me, is I feel like this is a test of the mettle for both of these teams. Because you think about it, the Astros have been losing to bad teams lately.
Yeah.
They really took it to the White Sox today. Big time. Crushed them.
Yeah.
Which happens, especially against the White Sox for some reason this year.
And no Tim Anderson.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But for them to be able to beat a big-time contender like the Braves would be a big deal. And same thing for the Braves because they kind of laid an egg against the Mets a couple weekends ago.
Exactly.
So they're gonna need to show up against the Astros to prove that they are who we think they are.
Yep.
Last 10, the Astros are 6-4. The Braves are 8-2.
Sunday, we have your Wake Up and Baseball game on Peacock, noon Eastern. We love the Wake Up and Baseball game. It's awesome. So if you have Peacock, you can tune in, watch the White Sox play Cleveland's baseball team. The White Sox 61-57. They are 6th in the AL wild card, back by 2. Again, that's a tightly contested race all the way down. Cleveland's baseball team 63-55, first in the AL Central, and they are a game up. Guardians, I can't believe I said that. They want to keep the top spot. Stupid notes. Cleveland's baseball team wants to keep the top spot in the AL Central, obviously, because if they fall into that just terrible wild card race, I think they're going to get beat up pretty hard. So if they need to stay at the top so that they can win. Mm-hmm. So anyway, the White Sox, we have no idea what they're doing. It's like there's no answer there. We don't even know what the questions are that need to be posed. It's a
what we
mess.
do know is that apparently Tony La Russa is taking input from the fans.
Well,
pinch hitter? You want a pinch hitter? Let's bring him in.
How could he not? He's asleep half the time. He's probably got some sort of lotto system with playing cards running through the fan bases, section by section, little like situational opportunities on a pole saying, what would you like to do? And they hold up the playing card, the face cards to say, do the 2 of clubs. All right, it's a hit and run.
So I'll be honest.
That's how it feels.
Like legitimately, my thought was that he fell asleep. He fell asleep again, leaning up against the wall there. He heard somebody yell, pinch hit it, or pinch runner. Send in a pinch runner. He thought it was his bench coach. So he woke up and made the move. That he dreamt his bench coach was yelling to send in a pinch runner. That's why he did it.
Well, and
but,
you know,
I don't know.
Who
Anyway,
knows?
so strange things going on in Chicago with the White Sox, because they
All
should
through
be so
Chicago.
much better, even with the injuries. They should be way better than they are. But the White Sox are 6-4 in their last 10. The Guardians, or Cleveland's baseball team, as Brig likes to call them, are 7-3. Sunday night baseball on ESPN, or ESPN as they call it, 7 p.m. Eastern. I still can't get over, like, it's still an adjustment for me despite having grown up on the West Coast. These games are over on Sunday night by the time I'm like getting kids in bed.
I know.
It's weird.
It is weird. But it's good for me. I like it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you do. So the Red Sox are 59-59, and they're going to be playing against the Orioles, who are 61-56 and fourth place in the American League East. What is this? But also fifth in the wild card, only a game and a half back. It's crazy.
It's so good.
Absolutely crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And here's the other thing too, is the Red Sox are only 4 back in the wild card, despite everything that's been going on with the Red Sox. They are only 4 games back in the wild card.
I know.
I feel like there's too many teams for them to overcome to be able to make it.
They are,
but they're in the mix. We can't discount them.
Well, right? except you have to, because they're hot garbage, and I say that with as much love as possible because my New York Yankees are currently hot garbage. And it's like comparing apples to apples right now, and that's just terrible. Mike Farnes chimes in, wants to know how about them Yankees, and Mike Farnes, this terrible. We just talked about it, but it's okay because the Red Sox are freaking hot garbage too. So that's how it goes. Thank you for tuning in, Mike. We love you, man.
Hot garbage all around in the American League East for some reason.
Except for Baltimore.
Except for Baltimore, because we're in an alternate reality. This is not really happening in our universe. That's what's going on. It's so strange. Brig, do you have a favorite series this weekend out of these that you're going to watch, that you're going to really pay attention to?
So I have to watch the Yankees, obviously.
Right.
I'm going to watch the Mets. I want to know how they're going to handle the Phillies. I'm very excited about that. Equally important is the Astros-Braves series for every reason you said, and because I need the Mets to succeed. But I have to watch Baltimore play Boston. So do I have a favorite, Brad? No. The answer is no. Do I want to have a favorite? Yes, but it's not looking like it's going to work out that way, because if the Yankees lose the series to Toronto, then I'm just going to have a meltdown.
It would make for a bad weekend all around.
And I still owe you a pie in the face, so bad weekend for me.
You do still owe me a pie in the face. That should be coming very soon. Hint, hint. Aside from the Mariners beating up on the A's this weekend, fingers crossed on that one, because I really hope that's what happens. I'm really going to be paying attention to the Astros and Braves, because I'm curious how the Astros match up against elite teams these days, because they haven't matched up well against bad teams. So,
and this
just out of sheer curiosity,
is really great.
That's the series for me. But,
I love it.
Anywho, all right, Brig, you want to tell them about Chinook seeds real quick?
You know I do, Brad. And my very favorite Chinook seed right here, Parm and Pep, is my seed of the day every single time. It is delicate, nuanced, and just exquisite, honestly. They make other flavors of seeds, but this is the one that I love and willfully promote above all. So you can jump on to ChinookSeedery.com, get 10% off your order. They really are the best seeds ever. They print that on the packaging, and it's true. Best seeds ever. For real, they're the best seeds I've ever had.
I downed yesterday, straight up downed some Smokehouse barbecue. I could not believe how fast I ate those.
They're really good. That's my kid's favorite flavor is Smokehouse barbecue. Anyway, so we love them. Brad got all hot and bothered about them. He forced me to try them. I tried them. Then I called Chinook, and I was like, dude, we got to do something together to support each other. And they said, let's do it. So that's why we have this relationship with them. It's very cool. It supports us. It supports them. You get support by having great sunflower seed experience. They have big packages and these small sampler packages, and you get 10% off whatever you order by using code BTPOD. BT Bravo Tango Papa Oscar Delta. BT Pod. Check
Nice. Nice. I love it. Don't forget to hop on over to 9plusus.com. Spell it out. NINEPLUS US.com. You can get hats, shirts, pillows, stickers, all kinds of fun stuff that we've got over there. Sweatshirts, tank tops, whatever you need. We've got it there for you. And also like, subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube or your podcast app, make sure you do that so you don't miss an episode. Baseball family, thank you so much for joining us for our Thursday Night Live. We will catch you next week.